Next up on KSL Outdoors.
Powder hounds are happy with this year's snowpack.
Get the gear, get the training.
How to stay safe in Utah's backcountry. Plus, we'll introduce you to the thrills of a timber sled.
I'm Adam Eakle, and KSL Outdoors starts right now.
KSL Outdoors with Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores.
Welcome to KSL Outdoors, and welcome to winter. You know, last year we didn't get much snow. This year, finally getting some snowpack, and a lot of people are out recreating out on the trail. Tonight we're going to take you out with Weber County Search and Rescue, Utah State Parks, talk about safety, tell you some areas where you can get out and safely go with your family snowmobiling, and we're going to introduce you to the timber sled. Let's go hit the trail.
This is one of Utah's premier destinations, partly because, you know, it's right off the highway. We're so close to the Wasatch Front, so it's a nice convenient place where people can, you know, park and then go out riding in the backcountry. It's called the Monte Cristo Loop, and it will go clear around to Hardware, and you can even get up to Garden City Bear Lake from here. Over 30 miles of groomed trail. It's a multi-use area. You know, we invite, you know, all aspects. Up here you'll see kids sledding all day, people cross-country skiing, and then even some people on their dog sleds.
Utah State Parks Rangers and Wasatch County Search and Rescue patrol the backcountry here at Monte Cristo. With the great snow we're getting this year, they expect more people out recreating, and they want you to be aware, prepared, and safe when you come.
Be prepared, and be prepared means have the right gear, tell people where you're going, and an expectation of when to be home. If you have the gear, make sure you get the training. If you don't have the right training to go with that gear, no matter how high-end the gear is, it doesn't help you. So you gotta have the training.
Obviously, a helmet is your first priority. It keeps you warm and your noggin safe when riding. But what else should we have?
And then the next one is, you know, making sure you have a pack, whether it's on your sled or on your body, making sure you have supplies to stay out there in case needed. In my pack, I carry a shovel, a GPS, and some extra snacks and water. Extra flashlight, some water purification. So this is Vaseline with cotton in there, so for some fuel, some hot hands. Then here's a battery pack, you know, for my Avalanche beacon, as well as some other items I have on here to make sure I have, you know, stuff to get home.
There are places where you can rent an Avalanche beacon, another key piece of equipment, especially if you get off trail or into potential avalanche terrain. These guys say you should have a beacon on you and you should learn how to use it.
0.9 right here.
There's so many factors, you know, the deep snow, you know, your adrenaline's pumping, you know, it's definitely a key to practice these so you know what to do when that situation arises.
Make sure you practice with your friends, go to UAC's website, get training classes you can go to, be prepared, get the gear, get the training, get out and have a good time.
UAC, that Mike just mentioned, stands for Utah Avalanche Center, a great resource to learn more about how to survive an avalanche, but more important,
There he goes.
they teach you how to avoid them in the first place.
One of the biggest points, though, is that even with all of this rescue gear that's around us, we got to remember avalanches are super violent events. A quarter of us are killed in trauma, so while having the gear is super important, avalanche avoidance, that's really the big ticket item.
The Utah Avalanche Center can help you up your game when it comes to the backcountry. They offer all types of courses, for the powder hound backcountry skier to the sledhead looking for adventure.
Yeah, we offer this course a couple of times a year, and it's super affordable. The cool part of this is that once we get on the snow, there's a couple of different stations. Right now, half of the class is riding with some of the best pro riding athletes in the country. So they get to hone their riding skills while the other half of the class is
Okay, so it broke there.
Looking at the layering within the snowpack.
2.4.
And then another station, those folks are working through their avalanche rescue skills.
Some good tips from the guys. You definitely want to be prepared before you come out. Know what the conditions are going to be like, and boy, if anything, let people know where you're going to be and when you're expected back. Hey, coming up, some tips, some ideas to get you and your family out here, to get you out into the great white snow. That in a moment, but first, tonight's climate quiz question.
In 90% of all avalanche accidents, the avalanche is triggered by the victim or someone in the victim's party. The best thing you can do to protect yourself and loved ones is to know before you go into Utah's backcountry. Know Before You Go is a free avalanche awareness program you can take on the Utah Avalanche Center's website. The program stresses 5 steps of preparation to ensure the safest possible experience when in uncontrolled areas. Our climate quiz question is, can you name the 5 steps in the Know Before You Go program? Once you know the steps, log on to our KSL Outdoors Facebook page, give us all 5 correct answers. We'll then randomly select and announce a winner on our page the following week. The winner? Set to receive a Climate Static V sleeping pad. Climate, comfortable, rugged, and lightweight. KSL Outdoors, powered by Ford. We'll be right back on the mountain.
KSL Outdoors is also brought to you by Smith & Edwards, Fish Tech Outfitters, Utah State Parks, Burt Brothers, Climate, King's Camo, and Camp Chef.
Welcome back to the Monte Cristo area as we snowmobile with the Weber County Search and Rescue.
A lot of our team members come up here and recreate, you know, on their own free time. They come up here and check the snowpacks and how well the snow is doing. And, you know, we pride ourselves in our volunteers.
You know, I was interested to learn that most of the search and rescue teams in Utah are made up of volunteers. That's true here in Weber County. These volunteers provide their own equipment and donate their time just to make sure people are up here obeying the rules and having a good time.
Speaking of search and rescue members, there's some right now.
You volunteer your time.
Yeah.
You volunteer your equipment.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because you get a sense of helping other people out.
Yeah.
And to me, that I like that. Makes me feel good, so that's why I do it. I guess it kind of goes both ways. Help others out, but make you feel good about yourself. It's really good camaraderie. I will tell you, I spent 30 years in the military and came to this volunteer organization and discovered an extremely professional organization of a bunch of volunteers that really care and want to do it right. So, professional bunch of guys, you really get close to them.
A lot of these guys, that's the thing, is the skills that they bring to the team. They know the area. You got guys that have been riding up here for their entire lives, and they know this like the back of their hand. The skill levels and the volunteers, they're absolutely amazing. They do everything that they need to help others out.
If you've never been snowmobiling, you really should try it. I mean, we have the greatest snow on earth, right? But if you're like me and don't own a machine, well, no worries. There are plenty of places where you can rent a snowmobile. You could go up to Strawberry and go with our friends up at Strawberry Bay Marina. They have machines and guided tours. Or up to the Bear River Lodge, where a good friend of the show, Roger Eggett, rents snowmobiles, has a beautiful lodge and miles of groomed trails to ride. You could also just come here, just east of Huntsville, to the parking lot at Monte Cristo and check out Club Rec.
We do rentals, service, anything that people coming up to enjoy their time up here might need. We rent helmets, suits, boots, gloves, so people can just, if they're on vacation or they don't have the winter stuff, they can just come up here and we have everything they need to go out and have a good time. We have the high end, the 850s, the newest models, all the way down to the 550 trail machines. That's the beauty about Monte Cristo. There's all kinds of different terrain. There's terrain for beginners, there's terrain for experts, huge bowls, in mountain valleys. And one of the most popular things is people love to go down and there's a road called Ant Flat, and they cruise over to Hardware Ranch. They can see the elk, usually see some deer and turkeys and things like that on the way over there. So there's something for everybody up here.
Next up, we'll introduce you to a timber sled. But first, let's check out how to stay warm while fishing in this week's Fish Tech Fish Report.
It's time for you fly fishermen to start manning up. Hi, I'm Aaron Anderson for today's Fish Tech cold weather fly fishing tip. The top 4 things that get most cold for me are going to be my feet, my legs, my hands, and my head. And so with those cold elements, I'm wanting to keep them warm so I can enjoy the fishing in this season. The first thing I like to keep warm is my feet, and that's the most important for me, and I'm going to be using a wool sock. And you want to make sure that these socks don't fill up your boots too tight, or they're going to cut the circulation off your feet and you're not going to stay warm at all. The second thing I need to keep warm are my legs. I want to start with a base layer like this. Then on top of that, I need to have a good pant, like fleece or something lined to keep me a little bit more warm. Now on to the gloves. I like to carry 2 different types of gloves, the fingerless fleece gloves and the breathable waterproof gloves. Both of these have their advantages and disadvantages, but they're good in lots of different situations. Now for my head, you can go with a beanie or a hat, something just to keep your head warm, and your ears can be the difference between a good day and a bad day. And last but not least, carry a few hand warmers or foot warmers with you, just in case. For tips like these and any more, come on down to Fish Tech, we'll be sure to help you out. Now for tonight's fishing line.
Hey, you looking for adventure with maybe a little less snow, a little less inversion? Well, Moab is a great place in the winter. Bike, Jeep, hike, you name it. The crowds are gone, but the scenery and the excitement remains. And to help you get into the spirit of Moab, we're going to give away some outdoors gear. All you have to do is send us some snapshots of your favorite Moab moments. For the next 6 weeks, submit those Moab photos on our KSL Outdoors Facebook page. On January 25th, the best photo will win a Climate 0 Degree Down sleeping bag, a Climate Static V sleeping pad, and a Camp Chef Striker stove. Good luck and get down and discover Moab. Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. Well, hopefully we've whetted your appetite to get out and enjoy the snow and to do it safely. Now we're going to introduce you to a family. You know them well. It's the Steadmans from Steadman's Recreation in Tooele. We're going to tell you how they no longer ride the snowmobile as much as they do the timber sled.
I am a die-hard snowmobiler. I haven't been on a snowmobile for 3 years now. These things are the bomb. They are so much fun. I can't get enough of it. I rode last weekend, I'm riding today, I'm going to ride this weekend. As long as we have snow, I'll be riding.
The advantage of this over a sled is you can ride in almost any snow conditions. The snowmobile, you're like 10, 15 miles up the road, try to find some good deep powder to play. In this, 10, 15 feet up the road, you're diving off into the trees and starting to play already.
We grew up racing dirt bikes and snowmobiling, and it used to be, you know, we did one during the summer, one during the winter, but now with these snow bikes, kind of combine both of the snowmobiling and the dirt biking together, and you get this great product of a timber sled.
We do timber sled, and the timber sled's what I ride. They make a couple different kinds, start at $3 grand, go up to about $6,500. It's just a kit. And that's a kit to go on any motorcycle. You buy a mount kit, bike specific, and then put it on the bike that you have with the track kit and the ski kit. When timber sled come out, my brother races desert rakes, and he's like, oh, you gotta do that. I was like, there's no way that dirt bike with the track on it's gonna cure my urge to ride a snowmobile, because I love snowmobiles, but it did.
It's just been revolutionary, honestly. Just a lot lighter, a lot more maneuverable, and it's just a ton of fun. You can go all day without getting tired and get up early and go the next day too. I mean, we were just in a spot just barely, and it was really, really tight. It was almost like a single track trail. Amanda got stuck, but we got her out, and yeah, I mean, we wouldn't even think about going there in a snowmobile, but on these bikes, you can really unleash the amount of possibilities where you can take these things.
But I have been riding dirt bikes my whole life, so.
That helps.
Yeah.
I guess in this family, you gotta either ride dirt bikes or something, right?
You grow up doing it. I think all girls should at least try, because Might as well. Gotta show those boys up.
Yeah, so go straight and then curl up here and then you'll keep your speed up.
Get into second gear.
Second, third, whatever, feels good. You'll be able to tell.
All right, here goes nothing.
There, go. Yeah, gas it.
I haven't been on a motorcycle in decades. If I can do it, anybody can.
It's not so much a turn as it is a lead.
You're right.
Once you figure that out, it's a lot easier.
Horsepower's an amazing thing.
Hey, and Steadman's, for people that don't know, they should know by now, 30 miles away from Salt Lake City, right in Tooele.
Yep, it's only 30 miles. Be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Come and see us.
You guys are Polaris, Yamaha, what else?
Honda, Yamaha, Polaris, and Beta.
And Beta.
Yep.
Okay, nice. Thanks, sir.
Absolutely.
Let's go do this again.
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. Hey, more here in a moment, but first, tonight's Utah Field Guide.
Hundreds of fish were taken to Uinta Elementary last week, and no, they weren't on the lunch menu.
Who wants to see some trout eggs?
It's all part of a program called Trout in the Classroom.
Here they go.
Trout Unlimited and the Utah DWR delivered 7,000 rainbow trout eggs to 47 different classrooms in Utah last week. The goal of this National Trout Unlimited program is to teach students the importance of aquatic ecosystems and to help them become stewards of the natural resources around them.
It brings nature to their classroom. It brings ecosystems to the classroom and helps them, connect to a species that they may not otherwise connect with, and hopefully start to think about the things that impact trout in the wild.
The students will raise the eggs into fish, then just before school breaks for summer, the students will release the fish into a community fishery.
It's special for them to be able to be a part of raising something and then releasing it into the wild as an urban pond can be.
Boy, the guys nailed that forecast. They were calling for snow up here in Monte Cristo. They must have flipped the right coin because they got it right. Hey, let's check that recreation forecast now by turning it over to the guys back in the weather department. Welcome back to KSL Outdoors, back here atop Monte Cristo. Hey, the big gun auction at Smith & Edwards just around the corner. Your chance to go down there, have a bunch of fun with our friends over at Smith & Edwards, bring home a cool gun. For all the information, all the details, check our outdoors calendar page right there on our website at ksltv.com. Good job. Look at that, Maddie and Molly, the little pro girls, woohoo! Out here with their dad, D, enjoying a good time out on the snow. Hey, don't forget when you're out with your family, your friends, make sure to take lots of pictures. Your little rugrats like the twins here. Submit into our snapshot contest. You too could win our big prize from Camp Chef. Now the best of the week, our snapshot of the week.
We kick it off with this cool find. Clint and his dog Blaze were hunting grouse when they stumbled upon this deadhead 6x6 bull elk. Clint called the DWR, they investigated, and allowed Clint to keep the beautiful 330 class bull. Charlie was excited to go on his first pheasant hunt at Wasatch Wing and Clay. He was so excited, in fact, he tried to beat their dog Lady at retrieving the birds. Lady was a good sport and started giving the birds to Charlie. Brian is certain this duo will be doing a lot of pheasant hunting for years to come. Jack Singleton and his dog Thrice wait impatiently all year for December ducks to start migrating through the Great Salt Lake. Now, Jack's wife isn't as enthusiastic as she hates for Jack to go out on such a big lake in a 14-foot john boat, but nothing can keep these two from chasing their passion. Dale and his brother Randy have always dreamed of shooting two animals at the same time. On the muzzleloader spike elk hunt this year, that dream came true. They had stalked to within range of a herd with 5 bulls, aimed, counted to 3, and shot at the same time. Both bulls dropped 80 yards apart. Then the work began, in a snowstorm. But Dell says, what a great adventure with his brother. But our winner tonight waited out the rain and caught this really cool shot. Jeff was down at Lake Powell last September with family. He was sitting in his lawn chair after a rainstorm enjoying a cold one when the sun peeked out from behind the clouds and a glimmer of light illuminated the sandstone cliffs across the bay. Jeff quickly grabbed his phone, snapped this cool shot as it only lasted a few seconds and was gone. Well, Jeff, the next time you head to Lake Powell, you'll have our cool prize to take with you, as you just won our Snapshot of the Week. Remember, submit your pictures or video, plus an explanation of your latest outdoor adventures online at ksltv.com. The winner each week wins a Camp Chef Versatop grill and griddle. Small in size, large in cooking capacity, perfect for those on the go. Plus, the winner is also entered into our Ford Trucks quarterly Facebook giveaway for a Camp Chef pellet grill.
From the backcountry to your back patio, Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
Pretty much a lot of this area up here at Monte Cristo, you're surrounded by private property.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of checkerboard between private and public property. So we ask our users to be aware of where they're at and respect landowners' properties.
Sure. Hey, and if people are looking for just information about where to go, grooming, all that type of things, where do they find that?
Yeah, so for our grooming conditions and operations, you can go to snowut.com and you can click on Monte Cristo Grooming Complex and find out when we've been grooming and what the snow conditions are up here.
Nice. And then for all rules and regulations?
Yeah, so for laws and regulations for any off-highway vehicles is stateparks.utah.gov. It's always a good source to make sure you know before you go out.
Nice. Well, you know, no one ever thinks they're going to get lost, me included. Just nice to know you guys are out there. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks for checking this out.
All right. Thanks.
I'm Adam Eakle, KSL Outdoors, reminding you out with your family, your friends. Make some memories outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.